Sir Bill appointed to undertake a review of Kainga Ora, which when completed was highly critical.
Kainga Ora is underperforming and not financially viable.
And News Hub can reveal how the former PM came to head the $500,000 probe we've obtained the text exchange.
So I'm already laughing, because if you don't laugh about this one, you'll cry too. Honestly, it's just, okay, a CEO, right, sells his business now as one of the reasons to run the country. That would involve things like hiring people, due diligence, putting people through the ringer to make sure they're the best person for the job. That would all be a business practice. No, not so much.
The first contact is direct from Sir Bill. Chris, will there be a review of KO? Bishop replies, we're going to do an independent review into finances, performance, cost, etc. Commence it ASAP, hopefully get terms of reference and reviewers sorted before Christmas. Sir Bill said, I could help with that. The response from Bishop, excellent. Let's do that.
Excellent. Let's do that. Oh my God. Like every political party, every political party uses their team to do these sorts of things. But if any other, I don't give a crap if you're green or red or orange or blue or black or whatever the fuck act is, pink or yellow, something like that at the moment. Pinkos. Yeah, they're the pinkos. That's about right. It's just, if anyone was said, this is how they got their position. Trevor Mallard, he's over in Ireland, isn't he? I think it was all through that.
Trevor Mallard,
Trevor Mallard. You imagine what the National now government then party would have done if Trevor Mallard had got appointed that position through a couple of text messages with Cindy, with old Cindy. They would have been apoplectic in their faux rage. So they've just talked, and we've actually just given them credit a little bit for the appearance of a conflict of interest. This is the appearance of corruption. Now, if what matters most is the appearance, not even a conflict of interest, then surely what matters most is the appearance, not even if it is corrupt. Because it's certainly the appearance of jobs for the boys, old boys network. Let someone approach you about an idea. It's the appearance of a corrupt system.
They are not even bothering to hide it. This isn't the case of like, oh, we want someone to do an independent review. Who wants it? Okay, we've got 4 contenders, and we've checked out the tender process and all of this sort of stuff. And we've selected Sir Bill English, our old mate, former leader, for a $500,000 jobs program to cut something that we know he hates and that we hate as well. It's not even the fig leaf of going through a process. It is a private text message of like, hey, do you want to gut KO? I can fucking help you. I hate him. I hate public ownership.
This is going to get worse, Joey. We're not finished yet. Because what comes next is Sir Bill English basically setting out his terms of reference. Remember, he's approached Bishop. He's made the offer, I could do it. Bishop said yes. And the next bit is Bill English saying, well, this is how I want to do it. You might want to step away from the microphone when you see this bit, just between me and you.
Did you follow proper process in appointing Bill English?
Absolutely.
The Let's Do This message was sent on the 29th of November. The review was only taken to the Cabinet 100-day Plan Committee to sign off 2 weeks later on December 13. You said, excellent, let's do that before you even took it to Cabinet.
Yeah, well, that I was expressing interest in getting him to do the review.
Yeah, that's right. You were offering him the job and doing the review is what you were doing. Keep going.
Yeah, well, I was expressing interest in getting him to do the review.
It doesn't sit right. And everything suggests that this was a stitch-up and that the outcomes were predetermined.
A day after Bishop gave the green light, Sir Bill issued some terms of his own. I will help if it's a short, sharp review. No public submissions or field trips. Bishop agrees, saying, definitely not. 3 people, you and 2 others. He goes on to say, no involvement from KO. Independent.
Oh, that's what they meant by independent.
No involvement from KO. Bill English approaches Chris Bishop.
Not independent of government fuckery.
Independent of KO.
Independent from the organisation.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
so,
okay.
So we do this. Bill English goes to Chris Bishop and says, no, are you guys going to look at KO? Kainga Ora? Bishop goes, it's part of the plan. English goes, oh, I'd be keen to do that. Bishop goes, okay. English goes, I don't want to go around the traps. I don't want to have to answer any submissions. I don't want to do anything like that. I want it to be as short as possible. So I earn the most per hour as I can. Bishop goes, no, that'll do. And don't worry about it. We won't involve Kainga Ora in your review of Kainga Ora at all. The appearance of what again was that, Julie?
We're going to have to crack out
To
Bill's old nickname. The Dipton double dipping dipshit.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because he was claiming to live in Dipton when he was really spending all of his time, and his kids were at school in Wellington,
It was ye old National Accommodation Supplement rot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an entitlement, is what it was. Let's get to the end of this, shall we?
He was entitled to it.
Right. The housing minister saying there would be no involvement from Kainga Ora in the review of Kainga Ora.
Did he advise Sir Bill English not to involve Kainga Ora in the review?
No, and they were involved in the review. He met with Kainga Ora.
How on earth can you review an organisation without actually talking to the organisation?
He didn't want an extended period of consultation and roadshows.
Who gives a shit what Bill English wanted? Man, I can't wait to get my next job. Let's say there's a job with a radio station and they want me to work by breakfast show 6 till 10. I go, yeah, cool. I'll do 8 till 9. And then the boss goes, well, he didn't want to work the full 4 hours, so we're going to pay him just to work an hour a day. It's like, what? Who gives a shit what he wanted? That's why you put this kind of thing out to tender and you do due diligence and you find the best person for the job. You've got the best person for the job that wants to do as little work as possible. That's that kind of best person you've got. You.
So, if he's not involved with the organisation, how did he act? What did he review? What did he see? Didn't talk to anyone.
Kainga Ora talks about that a bit here. We'll show you.
To the organisation.
He didn't want an extended period of consultation and roadshows around the country. They did, as part of the review, go and talk to a whole range of people, from developers, construction.
Except for Kainga Ora.
People that talked to Kainga Ora themselves extensively.
Except in a letter to Sir Bill ahead of the release of his final report, the acting chair of Kainga Ora's board said there was relatively limited engagement with our organisation, leading to some review conclusions appearing to be based on analysis informed by anecdotes.
Vibes!
We said this exact thing last night listening to Erica Stanford. Every time a minister, and I guess this is going to be a former prime minister, wants to do something, they cite anecdotes. Now we're finding out that they even cite anecdotes to make conclusions in a freaking review of Kainga Ora. What are they doing? And I think you're right, Joey. 2 things. It is just so blatant. There's no pretense anymore. But the second thing, as I said at the start, nothing they've done is wrong when it comes to like the handbooks and the rules of Parliament. They're allowed to do it this way. That's the other thing that needs to change.
That's unheard of. Like this mate's job program. Like, you're in Parliament or you're out. I'm uncomfortable with all of it. Like, it doesn't matter what side. When somebody's out. They're all the way out. They're Jacinda out. They're gone.
So here's a question, and look, fair's fair. This would be a question for the other side if they were in. Here's a question, journalists. Ask the Prime Minister who they have appointed to a position of relevance, to a position of significance, to do a review or be in charge of something that used to be a Labour minister or a Greens minister. Who have they appointed? And if it's no one, then that perception thing starts to rear its ugly head again. Now, as I said, if it was Labour in this position, exactly the same question, right? But I think that's a fair question for the Prime Minister. Let's shoot a bit more of this in.
Conclusions appearing to be based on analysis informed by anecdotes.
Well, that's their perspective. It's not mine.
It's an absolute shocker. The whole thing's a stitch-up, no doubt.
Do you see how it looks like you've just appointed someone who's going to tell you what you want to hear?
I reject that utterly. Sir Bill is a former Prime Minister. He's a former Minister of Finance, deeply experienced in the housing system.
The report should be called Bill's Reckons.
Kainga Ora's letter to Sir Bill also took exception with a number of the report's findings, alleging there were many factual errors. Their list of errors is 3 pages long.